Hey everyone, mariuszgajdzik here, and this is ESR Soft Case with Stash Stand from their Cloud series. A pretty cool case for your phone, in my case my iPhone 16 Pro Max. The case itself is made out of silicone, pretty nice. I really like the texture of it, it's quite nice, quite grippy. It should be safe in hand, so that's quite nice, I really like that. It has this really nice like MagSafe, or they call it, what do they call it? They call it halo look. I really like that fact that you have this like grippy stuff over here that you can see on the case itself. It actually adds a tiny bit of like design to it. I actually quite like that. I wasn't a fan of this design on other cases, but I think on black it looks pretty nice. Inside we have the very soft plushy material, so hopefully that will mean that our iPhone is not gonna get scratched if there is any like dust or anything else inside of there. On the bottom we have the cutouts for the port and the speakers and the microphones or whatever there is in the bottom of the iPhone. On the side we have like two dots for when we can loop like a lanyard or something like that. Pretty cool. Interesting to use that this way. I'm never using lanyard on my phone, but maybe I should, because I live in London and people are just snatching phones like crazy. It's crazy what's happening in London when it comes to snatching the phones. You can see like lots of videos about that on social media and it looks mental. But anyway, next to it there is a cutout for the camera control button. Sadly it isn't the button itself like on the Apple case that I'm using at the moment. There is like a camera control button on the Apple case. On here this is a cutout. At first I thought this is a bit lazy and this is nicer when it comes to having that. Just having the button itself, like a zirconia button or whatever, like sapphire button on here. But using this case, I'm actually convinced that this is pretty nice. So it wasn't a big deal for me to actually have that cutout in here instead of the button, which I thought it will be at first. We also have silicone buttons on here. All the buttons are silicone. They seem quite nice and I like what they did here. The other feature we have here is that camera guard over here. So you can actually unfold it and fold it back. So you can actually use it for a kickstand when it comes to putting your phone on the desk or your bedside table or something like that when you want to watch something and you don't want to hold it. Pretty cool. Again, I was thinking I'm not gonna use that at all, but when I had that on this case, when I was testing it, when I was using it, I actually used it quite a lot. So I guess you find out when you start using this kind of things and you think you don't need it, but you actually will use it. You can also use it in portrait mode, so basically kind of lean it on the table and kind of bring the phone at like 30 degrees up, which is pretty nice as well. I've used it a couple of times because you can just see your phone tiny bit better. So let's then put iPhone inside of it, and it's quite easy to do that. Just need to push it inside and it looks pretty damn cool. It's a bit thicker than the Apple case. The material is quite similar. I think the ESR ones is a bit grippier, which is a good and a bad thing. If you want to use it in your jeans, it might grip your jeans a tiny bit more, but it's safer when it comes to like having it in your hand, whereas this one is a bit more slippery. But maybe it is a bit more slippery because I've used it quite a lot and it's quite greasy. I need to clean it. So I've actually used it for some time and I've been basically comparing it to the Apple one. And will it replace my Apple one? I wasn't sure at the first. This is quite nice, quite minimal, quite sleek. This is a bit thicker. The buttons are more clickier in my opinion. I like the circle and the dash on the back over here. It's a bit more like texturized, so it feels nice for your hand. And actually I like this cutout on here for the camera button because I think it works quite nice when it comes to grabbing it. I think it's a bit more secure when it comes to actually using that camera button with that than just using it with the disc case. This is just like, you don't really have that much grip. I think on this one, you basically have more grip when it comes to that camera button. And this is actually quite surprising for me. So I think this case will actually replace this Apple case that I've been using for a while, because it is pretty cool. It has some extra things like, again, this like kickstand thing I really like that. I really enjoy that. I can basically just put it on my table when I'm watching something. And the best thing about it is the fact that it costs more than a half less than the Apple case, which is 50 quid, because this one is 23.39 pounds. And I have the discount code for you for 25% off of this price for all the items for the ESR website. You can find it along with the link in the description of this video. So if you want to grab yours, you can go through this link and use my code that you're gonna find in the description and get 25% off. So you can get it for like 16 quid or something like that. I'm not too good with maths. Let me know what you think about this case, if you like it, if you already got it, if you're gonna get it, or maybe using different one that you would recommend to me and everybody else. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.